Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to the fall semester. I hope classes have been getting off to a great start. So our focus for today for Ballroom Dance Club is Rumba. So we're kind of hitting the big six dances, which for those of you who are newer is our cha-cha, rumba, swing, and waltz, tango, foxtrot, all American style. If we had a full semester, we might be going into some standard and some other more fun social dances. So you can ask any of the club members if you're new and you have questions about that. Can I get just a real quick raise a hand on camera if you are a beginner? Okay, and is it a beginner total newcomer? Like this is my first ballroom dance class in the history of my lifetime. Yeah, newish, cool. All right, so that helps me know. Anyone at any time, I'm okay if you want to throw up a hand or raise a hand virtually for Kai to kind of monitor questions. If it's really pressing though, feel free to like jump up and down or put your hand up to the camera. Anything to make yourself really visible, especially this first couple weeks as we're all kind of adjusting to teaching partner dance, solo and in distance. So like I said, we're focusing on rumba today. And one of the main things that I want you to come away from tonight with is, where are my weight changes? How is my weight changing? And what is the timing of my weight change? So who was present to the Tuesday class? Anyone? A couple of you? Okay, so I believe you guys did waltz. So we'll be working with a box again, just again, a really different dance, different rhythm, different application. So starting out, we have two options depending on who your partner will be. Sometimes we're going to change whether we start our basic box with the side step or the forward step. So if I'm moving through this, go ahead and dance this with me if you're comfortable. We'll start going side, together, forward, side, together, back. So very basic step. On my left foot is what I'm beginning with. So I'm going left foot side, right foot closed to left, forward with left, right foot side, left closed to right, right foot back. Okay? Our timing for that is going to be quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow. So we have, that would be two full boxes. Some partners, as we're kind of returning into the reality of how we would apply ballroom dance, are going to start on that slow. So we're going to start with slow, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick. Same box, different starting point, little different spot in the music. But why I mention this is we want to just be available to access whatever our partner might leave down the road. Also, if you're looking up any YouTube clips, looking at other videos or watching other dancers in an online format, you might see different variations of how that is starting. So this kind of just gives you a little clue into, okay, that's not wrong, it's not a different style. There's just some variations in how different schools of teaching apply it as a starting point to the rhythm of the music. So we'll be doing quick, quick, slow for today. Part of why we're doing it that way is so that we can really get the basic action of what our feet and body is doing, our spine. You're gonna see me doing this a lot today, so sorry for the hand gestures. But we want to be able to look, and I want you to kind of use what you see either in a camera or a mirror to track, like if you had a line down your spine, where would you be going? Our spine is one of the telltale things that's going to tell us where our body weight is. So if we're walking forward, we can kind of put that thing, we're going to have that sense of the whole spine takes off into the space. If I'm moving side, I don't want to just move the leg. I have to make sure that the whole spine is shifting into that dimensional area. Same if I'm going other way. As I close my feet, then I still have a little bit more of my spine shifting to complete that. So just to get a sense of that, I want you to just put your toe to the side there. Okay, so I've got left foot toe. Everybody see okay? Okay, great. Thumbs up is awesome, thank you. So we got toe, heel. We'll go back and go through this. As I stand up, I can have my spine shift over. So at that point, I should be able to totally release this foot. So our balance, we're fully up on that left side. We should feel like we've got a nice sense of verticality. So that posture and poise that we want to carry as dancers is already starting. That's my weight change. Now notice I haven't moved my spine past, I haven't done anything else, but I'm definitely putting the center of my body in the center of my foot. Now when I complete that closing action, same thing. It's small, but there is a shift in my weight over again to that right pull. So I could pick that foot up. One of the common things that we see is that as that weight happens and that weight change wants to go here, is people leave their spine over on the left foot. Well, it's really hard to try to take off when you only have a split amount of weight on that foot. So moving through again, if you could with me, make sure we have our toe, heel, stand, spine is there. Pick up the foot and test yourself. Close the foot again, spine shifts a little bit to the right. We're standing up, we're tall on that foot. As we would go forward, same again, we have that standing point. Spine should have shifted, almost like you're pushing your arm into a wall or going through that door. Okay, as we would go into the second half, same thing. We're shifting that spine side, so right side, nice balance, vertical poise. And I'm kind of just testing myself, like, could I release that foot? Close again, it shifts back to the left slightly. And as I move backwards, again, I'm moving that backwards in space, making sure I'm lined up over that back foot. Okay, again, just testing where you are. So a great way for you just to feel what's happening on a very base level with feet patterns and spine patterns. And it's so funny how as we walk down the street, we would never walk like with our spine so far ahead of us, right? Or with our spine back here. So we do this in everyday life. If we're talking to a friend, we have a sense of our weight and our spine, or our weight and our spine, or we pick something up. And if we're split, we're clearly splitting and we have a sense of where that grounds us to. So it's really important that we keep kind of that pedestrian strength we have as humans, and we don't let that go and just try to move like arms and legs as we start dancing, as silly as that looks. It should be a good example to stick with you. Are we still doing okay, Kai? I have a lot of people who froze and left, so just checking if we're still good on that side.
As far as I can tell, we are still good to go.
Okay, any questions at this point? Good, everybody's okay? Okay, so now we started out just a little bit, me going say toe, heel, stand. Let's go back and dig into that. So we have a sense of where our weight is going in our basic box. Now as we go side, we're gonna arrive on a toe. And when I say toe, I want you to kind of feel like you're getting a nice, strong, forced arch position, as we call it as dancers. So I'm not just on my toe here with my heel down. I'm really trying to feel like I'm creating some foot pressure through the ball of my foot and through the center of my foot. So important, I'm going to show you from a few angles. Hopefully you can see this, that I'm not sickling my foot. By sickling, I'm kind of getting that arc out to the side. Well, now this again is going to tell my spine to go that way instead of the direction that I want it to go, or the direction that I want it to go. So anytime I do that, I'm kind of already inviting this pull of my weight off balance. So I'm high up onto the ball of the foot. I've got a sense of the center of my ankle moving through my second toe, okay, even when I'm forward. And we have also this sense as ballroom dancers of what the inside of our edges of our foot and the outside edge of our foot. So we are definitely arriving on the inside edge of our foot. Okay, so again, that's kind of taking that terminology of sickled. If you were ever a ballet or jazz dancer, you're familiar with that. And then taking it to how we would translate that verbiage and that terminology to ballroom with a weight bearing position. So high ankle, inside edge. Now I'm going to commit my weight through the heel. As I do that, I'm arriving with 100% weight over the foot. So I'd say when I'm on my toe, I've got a good 50, 60%, right? I couldn't quite release this foot. I'm not totally there. So you see then that the spine starts to shift, but it's not fully there. Heel goes down and fully there. At this point, I'm pushing down into the floor to elevate myself up, which releases this leg for a nice line. Okay? So let's do that a couple times together, please. So arriving toe inside edge, heel to arrive with the spine, pushing ourselves into the floor to stand up nice and tall, and then releasing this leg. So where we once shook it, we're just going to keep kind of a line there with our toe. Okay, again. And toe, heel, push to stand. One more time from the starting point. And toe, heel, push to stand. Okay, as we close, moving on to the next step, we're doing the same thing. Toe, nice high, inside edge, heel through the center, stand to change the weight, and notice that that's already releasing my front leg. A little different in the line that lets happen, especially because we're going forward next. From here, we would go into that forward line. So toe, heel, stand, and this lets that back leg start to move into that nice long point. Okay, again from the beginning. And toe, heel, push, toe, heel, push, toe, heel, push. Good. So I hope that's giving you a sense of not only where your weight is, how your feet are working, but also you should feel that there's some motion starting to happen as a result of this. So one of the big things about American style from my perspective, I cannot stress enough, let's just say it that way, that it's not about your hips moving, right? We don't just move the hips as a separate byproduct. The hips are a result of how the feet, legs, and body are connecting to the floor, using the floor and finding that oppositional sense of gravity and resistance to gravity through space. So if I was just moving my hips and all this, right, it's not looking as cohesive as it could. When I do it this way, I'm just using the footwork and it's creating a lot of motion on its own without me having to work hard, without me having to strain, and with me keeping my balance, my spine moving, and my composure through my entire posture. So although we're not diving into motion today, Latin motion, rhythm motion, again, lots of different ways to look at that. That is one great byproduct, is even if this is your first dance class or your 20th or your 50th or your, I don't even know in my case, this is something we never get tired of working on because it's so fundamental to how we would dance the American style, especially in the rhythm. So let's go back. Kai, we still okay on questions? Okay, great.
Smooth sailing.
What?
Smooth sailing for now.
Great, okay. If you want an added challenge, you can get a scarf, or if you have a rhythm band, and you can give yourself a little bit of tension here. So if you're more of an intermediate to advanced dancer, and some of this is stuff you've already heard or working on, this can be another way for you to start kind of getting a little bit of tension out, is going to build a little bit more of a sense of frame and gives you some clarity on the importance of how much weight you're actually shifting into your partner to create these cues or these responses in a lead follow. So it's also going to just burn in your arms. So it's a really good way to give some stamina and strength to your frame. one of the things we're working on in rhythm frame too is that, you know, if I was dancing a frame in standard, I have a much more expansive open position. If I'm dancing it in rhythm, this is a little bit more in front of me. It's a little bit more compact. And so, especially in this case, this gives you a sense of how compact that can be towards a partner while still creating volume and space in your own realm. So if you're advanced, intermediate, or just kind of ready to go to the next step, I want to challenge you at home to give this a try, okay? I'm going to kind of stick a little bit more with the beginners, but if you have questions come up around that too, throw a hand up as well. So going back to our basic box and our weight changes, we've got our toe, heel, stand, toe, heel, stand, toe, heel, stand. Now I want you to take this and do it from a profile perspective that you can watch. So feel free to watch just the demo once. I know you're not going to see my one foot, or you might my reflection. Toe, heel, stand, toe, heel, stand, toe, heel, stand. So anyone notice anything they want to share looking at it from that perspective? Do you have any hand raises, or is everyone being shy? No one? Okay, that's okay too. All right. What I want you to start to see is that you've got a front back dimension to that. So again, you're noticing where the spine shifts, for one. Two, I want you to notice that when I'm dancing this correctly, and I know you can see it from here a little bit, but I feel like it's more noticeable from the side. I've got a little bit of turnout happening. And when I say turnout, not just trying to turn my toes open, we get a little rotation from the hips. So the legs are rotating in the hip sockets way high up, and just a small bit. So that as I arrive here, you can see that this is given, especially from the side, this kind of nice arc S-line through, rather than just this kind of blocky look. So that inside edge with that little bit of turnout, again, we're not asking for like ballerina turnout where you're kind of feeling duckish. Okay, so if you've gone to that realm, let's rewind it back. So just a really small bit, right? Just making like the tip of a pizza slice, a narrow pizza slice there. That's a good way to think of it. So I'm getting that sense of where that line comes into for later. Again, now when I take that to the profile, you should start to see that that's also helping with this dimensionality front and back. Okay, toe, heel, stand, toe, heel, stand. So I'm getting front and back. And now right here, toe, heel, stand. That little bit of turnout, again, is keeping me from having this sort of clunky, lazy back leg. So as I release, I'm getting this nice line. Depending on the size of your step, that might get to a full, nice extended line for you. Again, when we put this to music, it's wickedly fast that we're moving through this, but that's not an excuse to not use our feet, right? So again, we're just zooming way down to the base level, building this up, letting you know where it comes from. So if you do get that feedback or have that issue, you know where to go to correct it. So as we're coming through, then we've got sort of this front back, but my spine is still here. So that's really clear. If we do the second half of the box, same, toe, heel, stand, toe, heel, stand, toe, heel, stand. And we've got that nice dimensionality again, not just a collapsed block there. Cool, thumbs up. Good? Okay. Great. Okay. So that's our box. Now, let's add a little bit of hip to it, just a small bit, okay? Just because I can't help myself. We're just right there. So if we've done toe, and as I move to heel, I want you to think, if I'm moving my spine this way, this hip, my right hip, is going to move back to help commit the weight of the heel. So I'm moving here, but I'm sending my hip backwards on my right side. So heel to help bring my weight there. And as I stand, I'm lifting up on this hip through that leg as much as I can. So if I dropped my weight on that hip, can you see the difference of that? There's kind of this, like carrying the groceries, carrying a bag, baby on your hip, however you think of that sort of sense, versus sending that again over so that the spine stays over. When that hip releases, now I've got spine here, right? If you drew that line all the way through, and my foot here. So we've got kind of this triangle starting versus that nice linear balance point. Okay. Now as I would close again, same. So toe, as I'm going to go heel, opposite hip is going back to help me transition that weight. Then I can stand up, same, not clunking out the side, but really picking up tall. As I'm going forward, toe, send the hip back to help commit the heel, getting lots of nice motion then, without working so hard, stand up tall, same, toe, send the hip back to help the heel, stand, toe, send the hip back to help the heel go down, stand, toe, send the hip back, heel, stand. So if that felt like it just sent you into overwhelm, pretend you didn't hear me and that we didn't throw that in. But again, I want to get lots of ideas out there for those of you that are working in an intermediate advanced syllabus. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. All right. Now, I want to try to see you for a second. So I'm going to switch gears here. I can't see yet what you all are doing, and I really want to.
Lisa, is now a good time for a question?
Yes, would love it. Go for it.
Okay, awesome. So when I'm trying to understand the standing motion and what that means, kind of like where that is in the dance. You said it was like the highest or like the tallest of the tallest part of the step. Is that kind of like are my hips more square there? What does the standing mean to like the rhythm, I guess, and
yeah.
what the
and where does it go in that beat?
Okay, yes.
Yeah, great question. So if we're breaking this down to that kind of micro level again, this is going to be like that ND. I don't know if you've had teachers talk to you about that. Again, if you're a beginner, kind of mute me out on too much of this. But this would be my 1, E, N, 2, E, N, 3, E, N, 4. We have that extra time there, right? If we're counting that in eighths. But really just working through the full beat instead of 1 and 2. Kind of feeling of that clunkiness. So again, if we do it in quicks and slows, quick, quick, slow, and quick, quick, slow. So it's fast, I'm really breaking it down here. But it really should be that point where you're trying to sustain it. It's really important on the slows most of all, so that my slow isn't 1, 2. But if I really stand up and I can show kind of that cascade of where it connects back to the next thing, you can see that there's like a melody to that within the body. Did that get your question? Kind of?
A little bit, yeah. Because I'm trying to think of it in a way that it doesn't make me think of rise and fall.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Because like I see like the full height, like that part of the count on, for instance, like this one here.
Mhm.
This is my toe. My heel is a little bit farther, but then the stand comes from extending my back leg and kind of aligning everything. Is that right?
And from your hip, so that your hip isn't, you can easily do toe, heel, and have this kind of release to the side. So part of this doing toe, heel, and sort of keeping the sense of the floor lifting here is actually giving you the space as you get into a more advanced place for that second settling action that might happen. Otherwise, where are you settling to? You're already like clunked out and out the back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of going back to what would precede that from an advanced place is like, I can change my weight, but I can also use my alignment to be in a place where I have the facility for a later action of a rock or a hip settle that might happen in my transition moments, which becomes my swiveling, right? That's going to become, you know, where you would dance kind of all of these things to get yourself nicely through, right? Instead of just having that be, I'm there and I'm there. So we're kind of working on building a foundation place with that tall moment, because we do have a class later on in the semester planned for specifically motion. So that will get addressed and broken down in a lot of clarity. But I just didn't want to miss this opportunity to get you feeling that this is all connected to the floor. It's not like I do my feet and then I do my hips. They're all one piece that's connecting.
Okay. Perfect.
Cool. Any other questions? No? Good? Cool. That's awesome when there's like a couple of you there. Do it together. Okay. So if we're moving through kind of that high on the hips side, you know what, before I go too far, can my beginners weigh in? Are you too overwhelmed, or can we keep going at this speed? Any beginners that can?
Seeing a couple thumbs up.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Yeah. Okay, so let's keep going then. And let's take this into rocks. So those of you that kind of want to continue off of the question that Ames posed can. And those of you that feel like you just want to stick with weight changes, you're both going to have ample opportunity to really work on what you want to target here. So just teaching a sequence. I'm going to do it facing you, and then I'm going to turn around, and unfortunately you'll have to look at my back, but you can dance it with me a little easier then too. So we'll get two options of it. So if we're starting with our quick, we're going to do one full box, quick and slow, quick, slow. Again, you can use your band or not. Half a box, quick, slow. From here, we're going to do two forward rocks. Quick, slow. Again, quick, slow. And half a box again. Quick, slow. To two rocks back. Quick, slow. Quick, slow. And then finish going right back into our box. One full box to end and complete this little practice sequence. Also a sequence you can take directly into your dancing, social or competitive. So we have two forward rocks and two back rocks. Now, as we're dancing this rocking action, all the same principles are going to apply. So if I'm backing up, I would still have my toe, my heel, stand. My toe, send my hip back if I'm feeling ready for that. Heel, stand up nice and tall. Toe, heel, stand. Toe, heel, stand. So that's the first part in our walking action. When I go to return to the back step, same. Toe, heel, full weight connection, stand. Okay, or return back to my forward part of the rock. Toe, heel, stand, repeat of the walking action. Okay. So, like I said, I'm gonna do it from the back. I don't know how well you'll hear me, but if you can dance this along with me, we'll do the whole sequence, starting with our box. Quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow, half a box, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow. Our two back rocks, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow. Half a box, quick, quick, slow, and finishing it out. Good. How did that go? Good? Cool. Any questions on footwork sequence? No? Again, for advanced dancers, if you want to add any arms into that, so as a leader, one thing that really is helpful as you're moving through this is when I'm going into those rocks, it's really nice to lower the hand so that I'm really getting a little more connection to my partner's center, which is telling again where those weight change and spinal action goes. So I would keep it low for the two rocks. Then you can kind of circle it back up and then same, drop it on the two rocks. Kind of gives like a nice chance for a little shift out of basic frame that actually talks with that spinal action, that weight change, and that center moving through space. If we do it on an open facing position, I've also seen it dance that way if you're, again, depending what syllabus level you're at, but we can do this as kind of a nice arm through if I'm dancing it from more of a follower perspective. So like just kind of moving that through the space, moving that back through and out and in. So as you're dancing solo, try to have a little fun with it. Still thinking about the role that you want to apply it in and how that might connect to these weight transfers and these transitions, but still start working on the aesthetics of what we're doing as a presentational art form here in dance. Okay, so going back to our rock sequence, we've got our sense of toe heel. Now, as I'm moving through this, let's do it all in profile one more time. And I want you to make sure that as you're rocking, your body is moving front, back, front in your spine, or back, front, back in your feet. Okay, so you're gonna test yourself either in your camera, or if you wanna turn it off and go do it in a mirror and come back, just anything where you can get a little feedback for where your own spinal changes on a rocking action. Because we're not moving the feet in space, they're planted more or less. This can be a really tricky point. So I'm gonna do kind of my band exercise here. So just so you can get a little sense of what that might look like if you're working with it. And starting with our box. Toe, heel, stand, toe, heel, stand, toe, heel, stand. Quick, quick, slow. Half a box to start it. Quick, quick, slow. Here's our forward rock. Quick, quick, slow. Second one. Quick, quick, slow. Half a box. Quick, quick, slow. Transition it back. Back with the spine, forward with the spine, back with the spine, back, forward, back, and half of our box. Okay, how'd that go? Good? Yeah? Any questions? No? What did you see? Anybody want to share what they saw in themselves or habits that crept in? Was it easy to transfer your weight? Was it hard? Did you feel like you got stuck thinking about all these things and then spine was in the middle? Was it no problem? One or two brave souls interact.
Kai, do you want to go first?
I would love to. Yeah, I was gonna say, I know that especially on my back actions, I felt like I had a lot of trouble making sure that I was getting cleanly to my toe before going to my heel.
Yeah, that's a real common pitfall. Not easy to do. Another thing will help with that, keep it small. I think we think in rhythm too, like, especially if you're a taller person or a taller dancer, that, you know, you've got to stretch your legs. Rhythm is not that case. That should be danced in a compact manner. So you getting to that point where it's really almost like your knees are touching is correct, instead of that nice expanse we want in all the other styles. So very good point.
Well, thankfully, I have just the space to do compact dancing.
Great. Yeah. Anyone else want to share? I saw someone else flash in again.
Yeah, that was me again. I was curious about in those weight changes. What I find difficult is I feel like my hips are doing like a lot of the movement, and I feel like my body, like at least like my rib cage and above, kind of lags behind a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have any advice for that, but I feel like the habit that I always get into is I'm too focused on where my hips are and what they're doing. I feel like they kind of might get like outside of my body line,
Yeah.
and then my spine, or like my actual body line, lags behind a little bit with my
Yeah. Sure. Where that can really be targeted is back to that sense of when your heel goes down, that your hip is actually going back on the opposite side. So that's making sure that any hip action that would come next is also connected to where your weight went, and not just an arbitrary thing. If again, when you get to the week where we break down action, when I let that hip drop too, it's the same. I'm not letting anything go side. So for me, my perspective as a professional, my training in both Latin rhythm, various other styles, is that any hip action, although we view it and we interpret it as a side to side, it's all forward and back mechanics. So thinking of that clearly, like if we're doing those forward and back rocks, it's not that I have one hip going around or one hip going out. It's that I have one hip going forward and one hip going back, and they're always going in opposite. When I stand, if I were to settle, it's the same. One goes back, one goes forward, not one goes side and around. Because again, the second I do that, I've got this disconnection from spine moving in space. So yes, you guys both asked really great questions that are really hitting on some of the deeper points of how to actually do this and make it feel coordinated and calm and efficient. Overall, just as a style and a dance, and how we would use that hip action to do that. Cool? Great. Okay. Any others? Those were kind of hard questions to follow. Okay. Let's try it a few more times here. Are we feeling brave enough to add in side rocks quickly before we have to close out? So let's do the sequence one more time. I'll face you once, I'll do it backing you once, and then we'll add in side rocks quickly. So just another point for those of you who want to work with it. So if you want to get your band, if you want to practice your positioning for which other part you would like, that's fine. If you're a beginner and you don't want to think about this, do your genie, put them on your hips, whatever works for you. Sometimes this is also helpful. So here we go, starting from the beginning of our little sequence, and quick, quick, slow. 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 and back to our box. Good. Okay, I'm going to turn around one more time. We're going to go just a hair faster, right? Because we are still far below what the speed of the stance would actually be. Ready, and quick, quick, slow. 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 Cool? Okay, so from where we ended, we do our one full box. As we finish that back step, we're gonna add in side rocks. So giving you another chance to work on this action. So as we're going through it, toe, heel, stand, toe, heel, stand, close to center. Toe, heel, stand, toe, heel, stand, toe, heel, stand. We'll do 2 full sets. So that was one set. Second set, toe, heel, stand, 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 and then back to our box. So really simple, but not. Again, shifting the weight, shift, return, shift, shift, return, instead of just moving my feet, but leaving my spine in the middle, right? If you're working with motion, that it's not doing this, right? I'm not figure eighting. Can you see the difference versus the front back stand? Approach, okay? One other thing with this, I want you to, again, think of what your size of step is. So kind of marking on your own body, but even in that slightly turned out position, the center of my feet, just about hip width, excuse me, length, however you want to think of that, and then add that little bit of turnout. So it's not a really expansive step, but it's also not right underneath me. We still want somewhere to shift to. So whatever that is for your body, whatever that sizing is, it needs to be specific to your frame. If you're dancing with a partner who's very varied from you, right? Say you're a really, really tall lead, you're dancing with a very, very short follow, you might have to adjust some of your steps and your sizing to make sure that there's comfort in the partnership and in the communication of the lead follow. But in this case, find your home, find your embodiment in your body and what works best for you so that you know that point of adjustment is the starting point. Okay? So in the sake of time here, let's do one box and we'll do our 4 side rocks or 2 sets, so however you like to think of that. One box to finish. Practicing spine through space, toe, heel, stand, committing the weight with the spine. Okay? Genie, band, frame, you call it how you want it. Ready? And quick, quick, slow, 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 quick, quick, slow. Yay. Good. Hello, Jessens. Love it. Any questions? Should we bravely try all that with music? Hi, am I okay on time to do that?
Yeah, I think we can go for it once real quick here with the music.
Okay. Please give a thumbs up when you hear music. Nothing?
Are you sharing it through Zoom?
No, I'm not, because that had issues when we did all our test runs. So, okay, maybe we're not going to do music today. We will do music next time because I don't want to waste Q&A time that might be helpful with tech stuff. But if anyone wants, email into club and we can shoot a few songs over, and that might be good too, like tempo wise to practice this too. That's really clear beats to hear that quick, quick, slow. I know everyone has different, music libraries, and it's always good to know what is tempo, what's a good suggestion for each dance and for practice points. So sorry about that. It worked in my test and now it's not coming up. So I really apologize. Okay, so just quick review again. You've got basic box, thinking of where your weight changes. So again, taking that basic sense of being pedestrian, of I'm moving over each foot in space. I'm not just wiggling my feet around, right, with my spine in the middle. Our toe, heel, stand. So our footwork, right, we're not clunking through on flat feet. We've got this sense of ballroom footwork. We're on our slight turnout, not our duck feet, right? Just that little slice of the pizza. Inside edge, we talked about that, about the heel being up. As we're committing the weight into the heel, that we can have oppositional hip action, right? If that's something you're working with. And then those tiny questions. Where does this apply? When? Working that it's not just quick, quick, slow, where it's a hold for each arrival, but we've got one beat for each quick. 1 E and A. 2 E and A, right? And then working to smooth those out even more. 2 E and A. So we don't have to see that it's toe heel. It's just a flow point through, whether that's a quick or a slow. For newbies, again, slow is 2 beats then. So you've got double the time to create that action, which is really nice too. Okay, really fast overview there. I will turn it over to Kai, and he's going to direct our Q&A from here.